Man, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another post game here on Rangers Central, and the Rangers fall in game number 4 by a final score of 1-0 against the Capitals, and they played decent enough, truthfully, and honestly, it's rare that I get to sit here and say that they actually played respectable in a win. They just didn't do enough. They didn't do enough. There are certain guys you look at and you want more from, a certain someone that we're going to talk about throughout this post game. And Charlie Lindgren played out of his damn mind. I mean, there's no way around it. The Rangers could have done better at things, despite that, in my opinion. And there's still levels for them to become a better team, despite the fact that, again, between last night, points of this game, they looked good. But again, just not good enough to win a hockey game. It's that simple. You got to play a full 60 minutes. They didn't really do that, in my opinion. I thought the third period, they just did not attack enough at all. And that was really the bottom line of it, where the first two periods, I thought they did a way better job of being able to generate some offense. I still wish they were attacking the middle a little bit more in the offensive zone at points. They fanned on their opportunities that they got when it came to them. And you also have to question some of the personnel as well, because some of these guys that got high danger chances are guys that you don't expect to score a lot, and with good reason. And as much as you're playing well, some of these guys just, again, aren't getting the job done in terms of finishing their opportunities. But we're going to talk about it before we jump into everything. Please leave a like on your way into the post-game show here. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live here on the channel. Here's my problem with what's going on offensively right now, which there's a couple things. Despite, again, you look at the fact that they generated 5 high danger chances in the first period, in the second period. It didn't feel that way to me in the first period, truthfully. And I'm talking about 5-on-5. First period, I honestly thought was just okay. I thought that they didn't defend well early on in that first period. I thought that they got better as the period went along, and they were able to get in the offensive zone, like I said, but they weren't getting to the middle enough. Like, they had that opportunity from Will Cooley out in front. I think JT Miller had a chance in front, in the net front as well. Second period, I thought the second period was their best period of the night. I thought that they did things right on both ends of the puck. I thought they, again, could have attacked the middle more. I thought they did it better in the second period. And then the third period, I mean, you got away from everything you were doing those first two periods. There was no attacking at all throughout that third period. And when they were in the offensive zone, you're watching Charlie Lindgren make acrobats, like in that second period opportunity where you get the odd man rush coming. Mika Zibanejad gets robbed by Charlie Lindgren. Needs to put a better shot on that as well to elevate it. But you're getting robbed in those opportunities. And in the third period, the Rangers decide, yeah, you know what? Let's just keep firing from the point. I don't understand. I really don't understand why all of a sudden they're just, I don't know why they're just trying to fire shots from the point way too much, especially with the net empty as well. Get creative. Like, I'm watching Mika Zibanejad fire from the blue line. Get creative. And the thing that I want to see with this offense is they do not move the puck around enough in the offensive zone. Outside of getting to the middle more, they don't move the puck around enough. You have guys that are keeping the puck on their stick way too long, and there's nothing wrong with that to try and open up space. But you know what's going to get the goalie? You know how you're going to beat the goalie? That's what I mean to say. You know how you're going to beat the goalie? You got to move the puck around a lot more, and they got to make quicker tape-to-tape passes, and they're not doing that at all, in my opinion. And it's something that can be fixed. Will it? I don't know. But too much of this carrying the puck around the perimeter, too much of firing shots from the blue line and hoping to get the rebounds. And, every time they get the rebounds, they're fanning on those opportunities. There's not enough tape to tape passes. When you watch the great teams, what they do is they're moving the puck quickly, wearing down those defenses. And instead, I mean, even on the power play, they just don't do it enough. Even on the power play, just not enough. I thought one of the power plays looked good. I think it was their first power play that looked good, which also I did not like the decision with Mike Sullivan there on that power play as well. How do you not call when you get back-to-back power plays with the way the first unit looked, even though a lot of it was just passing and not enough pucks on net? How are you not calling a timeout to keep your first unit out there between the back-to-back power plays when your second unit, I know they scored in last night's game, they're not good enough still. I'm sorry, I'm not trusting a power play that has Braden Schneider quarterbacking it, which he frustrated me a lot tonight. But you got to call a timeout there. And the biggest thing with this team offensively, where are the guys making the money? Artemi Panarin, through the first 4 games, has been invisible. He looks checked out, disengaged. I've been talking about it ad nauseum. He looks like he has no interest out there at all. You want your $10 million next year? This ain't the way to do it. So ain't it at all. He's just completely checked out, it looks like right now. And I don't know what it is in a contract year, but too much soft play, too much perimeter play, no effort in the D zone, none at all. And there are times, again, where he's just cherry picking. I'm tired of him. And then JT Miller, he's been invisible as well, just not bearing any opportunities at all. I mean, the fact that Zibanejad, you could argue, has been their best forward, and he's still not putting up the points you need him to. It's a problem, and that's where I worry about this team having the personnel to contribute offensively right now. That's where I worry. Which they did against Pittsburgh last night. You got put up 6 goals. Buffalo, you put up 4. But, it's really a matter of when you play these better defensive teams, and the Washington Capitals played a perfect shutdown third period. They played as good of a third period as a team could play, and that's what a team that is going to the playoffs and has aspirations for however far they go in the playoffs, whatever it is, that's a team that knows how to play the right way in the third period, and that's what they did. And nothing from the guys that you need to step up. For whatever it's worth, Gavrikov and Fox had probably their best game together. I mean, every time they were out there, it felt like the chances were limited. I only really felt like there was 2 mistakes from Gavrikov throughout this game. He had a really bad turnover in the first period on the penalty kill. He's running out of position to go for a stick check, which I didn't like. Outside of that, though, I mean, he's going to make mistakes. Everyone does. But for whatever it's worth, I thought that pair looked good. For whatever it's worth, I thought Jonathan Quick was a little bit better than I thought. I didn't love him going out of position at times to where Connor Sheary's needing to step in and save opportunities. But I thought that pair had their best game thus far, if that's any silver lining in any of it. But overall, I mean, again, they didn't do enough. And they got to find ways simply to bury their opportunities. Because the problem that I have with doing this whole tipping my cap to Charlie Lindgren thing is I still feel like they need to attack the middle more. I feel like they need to move the puck around a lot more in the offensive zone, which they're not doing. And again, the top guys, most importantly, they need to step up. They need to step up, and they're not. And how about how ugly it was with the net empty? That was another mistake by Fox. Just a soft play there against Tom Wilson, where Mika Zibanejad's having to back check and stop some goals. Stop the empty netter from going in, that is. Very frustrating. And now you play Edmonton on Tuesday. I don't know how that's going to go. Probably their toughest match yet. I mean, definitely their toughest match yet. So we will see. We will see. And yeah, I mean, this is the problem. They kept shooting glove side the entire night, shooting it right into the crest instead of trying to generate rebounds at points when they're taking the shots from the point. I didn't think they were going to do different. I'm just saying they didn't do anything. It was just embarrassing. I'm just pointing out how embarrassing it was. The Caps weren't even sharp through the first two periods and they couldn't take advantage of it because the top guys are lost. Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect way to put it. And this is also a problem that the fourth line was generating probably their best chances the entire night. You're not going to win games that way. You just simply aren't. And that's where I go back to the point where guys in this group, they have to step up. I am sorry. I am so tired of watching Panarin skate to the top circle and then taking a weak shot on net. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I agree with this that Lafreniere being with Panarin, there was one shift early on in the game. I think it was the first period where I'm just watching the two of them just not doing anything at all in the D zone to help at all. The two of them just leaving the zone way too early as Meek is getting beat. Which Meek as well in the first period had a couple of rough shifts in the D zone too. And his team's just sloppy with moving the puck. And that's probably part of why you honestly see them just playing the possession game in the offensive zone. Because they got no confidence in themselves to move the puck. Yeah, this also. And then how about on the goal where Braden Schneider is just not tying his man up? And that started too because he has a turnover. How about that as well? But he's not tying his man up. And I have people telling me, just give credit to Beauvillier, just a good deflection. No. No. You got two defensemen just puck watching down low. One of them? Can one of them pick up on Beauvillier there and tie him up? But neither of them do. And this is the problem. They don't play with enough speed at all. They just don't. And you're not going to beat up on good teams that way. You're just not going to score against them if you're not quicker breaking through the zone. And if you don't have the puck support going through the zone. They don't. They don't have the speed. And this is the thing is you have Panarin starting to dump the puck in at times, but he's not willing to get in on the forecheck. And that's where my concern comes in general is you have your top a lot of your top guys. I'm not saying that JT Miller fits in this mold because I don't know what's going on with him, but in regards to guys like Panarin and Zibanejad, who are supposed to be your top guys at least, because we know with Zibanejad, whatever. At least with Zibanejad, though, even I'm seeing a willingness to try to get in on the forecheck. Panarin, there is no willingness at all to get in. But you have a coach that is instructing these things, but do you have the guys to do it? And I don't know. I mean, we got to keep seeing as we go along, but I just don't think so. And this is why I have my issues with Drury. But that's no secret there. And I don't understand, like this is like Carson saying here. I don't understand how you have this as a line in general too. You gotta split these three up, and I know that Trocheck's hurt, and it makes it a little more difficult. You have to split these three up. You gotta go. Like to me, I don't know what you do because right now would be the perfect opportunity for Gabe Perreault to come up, so then Connor Sheary could play lower in the lineup like he should. But I don't know. I mean, because they don't have the cap space to call up Gabe. I don't know what you do there. If you're willing to dump Parson in on waivers and bury him down in the AHL, I don't know if that opens up cap space for Gabe, but I would explore that because I would rather have Gabe Perreault up here than Yuso Parson, and I'd rather Gabe Perreault in the top six because on top of that, when this team is healthy, I would rather see Will Cooley back on the third line. And it's nothing against Will Cooley. I just think he fits the third line better. And I think that's how you maximize your lineup there. Or give me Brett Berard. I don't know. Either one. But you can't have that line. Trading Panarin opens cap space. Maybe at the deadline. And hopefully at the deadline. Because we're 4 games in, and not only does he look disengaged, I don't know if he's simply going to be. I don't think he's going to fit in Mike Sullivan's system at all. I just don't think so. But I'm glad everyone in the chat is agreeing on this that it's a problem. Thoughts on Laba this game? I thought Laba was all right for the most part. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have really many issues with him. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent. I thought he was just okay tonight. Okay, I know that we're pointing this out, but I also want to point out it was I again, I don't want Susie being injured. I don't want to see guys get injured, but it was nice to have a lineup with that Susie in it. I gotta say it. Yeah, this is really just the problem, and that was my point even throughout yesterday's post game. That was my problem with the Rangers last year in January when you thought, oh, maybe they could claw their way back into things. It's like, no, they were way too reliant on the bottom six to where that's not something you're going to get on a nightly basis. You're not going to get your bottom six to score that frequently on a nightly basis. Robertson had a rough start tonight. I thought he was better as the game went along, though. I don't know. To me, he was far from the problem. To me, Schneider was worse. To me, Vakanainen was worse. Um, you could argue Borgen was worse, but to me, Schneider and Vakanainen were bigger problems on the blue line. Morrow should be in Vakanainen's cheeks. Yeah, I don't know why Morrow's not here at all. Um, Especially for the second power play unit. To me, it's very odd still. I don't know. I don't get it at all. Morgan had a giveaway to Bavili in the first period that quick bailed out. Yeah, and there was another play. I think it was in the third period where just he ended up making up for it with a stick check, but he just was caught flat-footed, and that can't happen either. And I agree. I mean, they had a couple of lapses here and there, but at the end of the day, this team it just is not playing good enough 5v5 offense, which has just been an issue for a bit. Thank you for the $2, Eagles. Should we trade Laugh for a top four D man? I don't know. To me, that's more of an off-season move. That's definitely more of an off-season move because then you have to get another top six forward, and I don't know how you address that because this top six right now is just not good as is. And as much as I'm not a Lafreniere believer too much, I mean, to me, I'd rather just get Panarin out of here. Have a contest for fun. Who will be the first goal scorer at MSG this year? That's a good question. I mean, if they don't score Tuesday against Stuart Skinner, oh my goodness. If they can't score against Stuart Skinner, I'll say Adam Fox on a power play. But don't listen to me. I thought the over was a no-brainer for tonight's game, and I put some cash on that, and obviously that didn't work. Where is the production, though? Where is it? And how you replace it is you get a deeper lineup. That has been my point the entire time with anyone that says, well, what happens with the production? You make a deeper roster. You allocate that money to two or three forwards instead of Panarin. Unless there's a bona fide star player available, then I'm okay with spending the cap on one player. Like if Jason Robertson becomes available, I'm moving mountains there. That is also the problem. You have a GM that I don't know if he knows how to allocate the money right. But that's a whole separate conversation there. And this is the point too. He's not the same player in the playoffs. He's just not. And the other point that I don't understand from the we got to keep Panarin side of things is I don't understand the whole argument. Well, you don't make the playoffs without Panarin. They've missed the playoffs in 3 out of the 6 seasons he's been here. So, is he really the difference maker? I'm going to go with no. I just countered this entire point. Do you think a losing season gets Drury on the hot seat and hopefully out of town? I don't know. I really have no feel. This ownership group seems to love Drury to where I don't know. And thank you. Panarin had 90 points and they still missed the playoffs last year. And he's not the same player as when he first came here. To me, I see a completely different player. I'm sorry. If they miss the playoffs back to back years, Drury probably gets fired. Dolan loves Drury, but loves playoff money more. I think the expectation is to make the playoffs and even win a round. If that's the expectations, then maybe. Then maybe. I don't know. But I just wouldn't be surprised at this point because of the fact that Drury seems to just get away with whatever. So I have no feel at this point. But you could be right there. This is the point. Yeah, suck with Panarin or suck without Panarin. Or again, the thing is, you don't know if they're going to suck without Panarin. You know that they suck with Panarin. Why not try at least something different? And that's been my problem this entire time with this management group with Chris Drury, rather, I should say. That has been my problem is the lack of willingness to try something different. I just that's my problem. They will suck without Panarin. They they suck with him. Like again, I don't get the sentiment here that they're going to be. I just don't agree with it. I just don't. Oh, just, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Carson. All right. Um. Yeah, this is also a very good point that 16 teams last season didn't have Panarin and qualified for the playoffs. So, do you really need him to make it? Again, I want to try something different. I want to try making this roster deeper. Or again, get an actual superstar because Panarin, no. I'm over it with him. I'm just over it. It's been 4 games so far this season and he looks like what he does in the playoffs, which is play a soft game. He just looks completely disengaged. This or multiple all-around players. That's the thing. You could replace Panarin with multiple all-around players potentially. And this also, I mean, yeah, Panarin's only going to regress more. But again, I could have this conversation all night, but I'm not going to be here to do that. What I am going to do here is wrap things up. Tuesday night, they play the Edmonton Oilers. There will be a post game, of course, for that. I have no idea how that's going to go. All I know is that you better score at home for once against Stuart Skinner. Otherwise, I'm going to be very frustrated. I'll leave it at that. Just that simple. Thank you everyone for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.